Hello, everyone, and welcome to the gatherings. I am gathering today with Kim, our third speaker that is going to be with us on Saturday, the 21st of February at 3 p.m. at South African time. And I'm here to introduce Kim to you. So, welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining. Kim, welcome to the gatherings. How are you?
Hi, Sheshni. I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, thank you so much, Kim, for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Guys, I know Kim now. Kim, I think I don't know, more than 10 years. I don't even know. Yeah, it's been a journey. Kim and I have been
Yeah.
journeying together for many years right now, and Kim has done a lot of guidance and helped. Kim, I think instead of me saying what you do, how about you sharing with people what is some of the work that you are
Okay.
doing and where you're from as well, so that people know where you're
Okay.
from.
Yeah. So I'm from South Africa. I'm living in Cape Town. Enjoying the vibrant creative energies in Cape Town most of the time, and just fulfilling my purpose, my life's purpose, which is I don't really have a title. All I know is that I've been doing energy work my whole life. With you typically start this kind of work when you're in the womb, and then you realize what you have to do at a certain age. And so for 28 years, I could say that my 28-year journey in this world of what one would call a career is about helping others to heal themselves, and that takes on different shapes and forms. Um, I started out as a massage therapist and reflexologist, and then became an energy healer, and then studied the modalities around health, nutrition, vibrational medicine, and biofeedback, and body stress release, and all kinds of different modalities around that, crystal healing. I can go on forever. And all of them were just learning about the different dimensions available for us to be able to heal ourselves. Part of that involved music, song, dance, movement, yoga therapy, yoga philosophy. At the end of the day, it's incorporating and embodying a lot of the wisdom, ancient wisdom. And then I moved into the area of numerology in 2016, which activated a new part of my career. And I use numerology predominantly as a tool that helps me to see into certain aspects of a person's soul, purpose, their highest calling, and various things around that. But generally, at the moment, I find I'm working a lot with shadow work, people helping them to
Mm-hmm.
understand what a shadow is, what they're projecting, and what the world is showing them, what they need to integrate, what they need to transform, because we can't push away parts of ourselves that are there for a reason. We need to understand why they're there, be conscious, make the subconscious conscious, and be aware of what it is useful for rather than rejecting
Mm.
it. So I find that the
Yeah.
theme of my work at the moment.
So, Kim, like you, many people ask me, what do I do? And I'm like, titles is hard to describe because
Very hard.
I can't associate with titles anymore, right? So
Mm.
people ask what I am. I'm like, I am, right? It's like, what do you mean I am? I'm like, I am whatever
100%.
possibility I can create for myself. And I am
Mm.
whatever I decide I want to be at that given point
Yeah,
in time. And that's the easiest way I describe myself when I say I am.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so guys, Kim has been in industry for about 28 years. I have personally done my numerology with Kim many, many years ago. And for those that want to know, I am a life path 5 and I'm a proud life path 5, by the way. Kim's know me. I'm like they call me a travel junkie, I think, Kim.
You just
um,
like to move energy. Wherever you go, you need to keep
yes,
moving energy, connecting,
yes,
empowering, and mainly you feel empowered when you're moving. So
yes, 100%.
moving and creating,
100%. Yes, and
talking,
that's yes, talking. See, talking,
powerful
guys, and creating this platform
conversations.
again, and
Yeah,
creating this platform again, right? So yes,
yeah.
Kim has been a supporter of me for many, many years, and she's supported me in many of my little projects that I have on the side and things that she's always there, especially with my nonprofit organization. And Kim has really helped me. So, guys, numerology, something if nobody knows what it is, please reach out to Kim. I will have all the details for you in the captions. All right. So, Kim, let's get back to our topic. So, we're going to be joining Pillow and Steph, that we've already done the introduction videos for them. And the topic that we're going to discuss on Saturday is when love remembers, the ego unravels. And I've asked them a sneak preview or peek of your perception of what does this topic actually means. And coming from your wisdom and the times that you spent around working with a lot of people, and obviously of your own life journey as well, what does that actually mean, in terms of your perspective?
Okay, so I think that what a lot of the global themes have been around is remembering who we are
Hmm.
as a
Yes.
human race, remembering
Hmm.
that we're just human, that all this performance anxiety is crashing us into the proverbial wall, and we're all lying down like exhausted from it and going and saying to ourselves, well, who are we really? And so it's, in essence, we're returning to love because we're returning to ourselves. We're saying
Hmm.
we need to love ourselves more, but it's more than that. It's about loving humanity back into a state of beingness. So even your project with Just Be, that's been reactivated at this time,
Yes.
is no
Yes.
mistake, because we're in a very, very important astrological time as well, where all the major hitting planets have shifted. Whether you like it or not, everybody's getting a kick up the proverbial butt, and we are being giantly shoved into the next stage of living and being on planet Earth. And love is always at the center of everything, because we need to understand fully what love actually means before we can so-called fix it. And actually, love doesn't need any fixing. Love actually comes in and fixes us.
Hmm.
So if there's such a word as fix when it comes to the human being, because none of us need fixing, we need loving. And that is where the perception of society, I feel, has been really distorted, because
Hmm.
we're getting sold all these ideas about what love is and how it works, and this is and that is, and it's the lover and my partner, and nothing about you're actually needing to understand who you are and the essence of you, and fully like radical self-acceptance, and also bringing back parts of yourself you've left behind because you forgot that they were actually important parts that you need in the present moment and in your gift skills and talents and what have you. And there's a process now that we're picking up the pieces of who we are and what love is, and how we go through this process is called remembering.
Mm.
So as soon as you find something niggling you in your head that you've forgotten,
Hmm.
that you
Yeah.
used to do. I used to
Hmm.
play the piano and I used to actually quite love it, but there was a part of it that I left behind because I had to leave it in the past because certain things took over my life or whatever it was. I'm using something rather mundane to explain that, but the importance of that piano playing might activate something very important in my healing work, which is
Hmm.
actually showing up as a very important theme of my life at the moment. So that's personal to me. But at the end of the day, this concept of love, remembering, and the ego unraveling, is quite a gentle way of putting it, that we are being deconstructed so that we
Hmm.
do remember. We have to take the puzzle pieces of what we've built, and actually we are already in a few pieces, and we're saying, okay, but what what were we building to begin with? Because love actually is something that is interested in growth. Love is something that is interested in witnessing one another without controlling one another. Love is interested in seeing humanity uplift one another, each other's purposes being realized as both a unified field as an individual journey. So I think what's important about the title on Saturday is the relevance that it plays in this pivotal time of eclipse season 2026, the activation, the first eclipse, and then we between the eclipse, the solar and the lunar. So we
Hmm.
between the outer self-expression, and then the moon is the inner
Inner.
self-expression, the inner realization of what's actually going on, the emotional upheaval and
Mm.
awakening. And really, we add a choice point of we are choosing what we want to take with us into the future. And some
Hmm.
people may still have forgotten what they
Yep.
need to remember. So when love is actually actioned, the action
Hmm.
is the important part of love. What am I doing to bring myself back to coherence, which is that I'm bringing myself back into the cocoon of love. You can imagine just the mother and the baby. that
Mm-hmm.
bond, the bond with myself, my original self, my pure self, my destiny self, the place where I actually feel more comfortable. And sometimes it means that we have to lose a few things. So the unraveling part is the ego saying, but by the way, since you're reorganizing yourself and regrouping yourself with things that you've missed out on and lost, as soon as you bring those things back, you have to make space for those things. And that means a few other things have to be chopped out. So in 1 week, I've had people going through major sudden breakups and major losses. And so we have to, the ego is busy unraveling. It has to grieve and bereave those things losing. And then we have to comfort one another. We have to be there for one another to say, okay, this is what you're going through. This is what's happening. How does it feel? Love can reflect like that. Love can be a simple action of just arriving and being a shoulder to cry on. Love can also be something very big, like taking a huge amount of sponsored clothing, food, and living practical day-to-day living things to a shelter that is in need of support. Love can have many, many different ways that it shows up in the world. And love is something that we do. It is not something that we feel, but we feel the love while we're doing it. And that's what ego has to do sometimes. Ego is important. It's part of our willpower to be able to sustain ourselves and live in this world. It shouldn't really be rejected or separated. It needs to just be like the proverbial wolf that you need to know how much to feed and how much not to feed, you know. And the ego does unravel when it gets too over dominant, when it gets too big and loud, because then love can't really have enough space to balance it out. So I think that everybody is going through a kind of deconstructing in order to rebuild something that feels more authentic. They're tired of this old self. They are kind of worn out by the pressure of the ego, the pressure of the societal ego, as well as the internal ego to show up, exhaust ourselves, perform, run 2 jobs, also pay these ridiculous bills. There's a lot of different themes in what we've actually been doing and how we're deconstructing. And we're needing to get very connected to ancient wisdom, to knowledge and understanding, and to listening. The first love language of all love languages, listening, understanding. We're needing to listen to the voice of our souls. We're needing to listen to the voice of silence. We're needing to listen to one another about how human we really are. And when somebody is not listening to the call of humanity, there's going to be a major transformation. And the call of humanity is that we would like to experience a life that embodies authenticity, love, community, and harmony and peace. We don't want all this hectic ego pressure and stress. And so, unfortunately, to get to where we want to go in the future, we have to, love is busy remembering us. If you can conceptualize that. Love itself, which is something greater than us, is busy helping us to remember. We have to listen. We have to try and ask the right questions from our heart. So we can't ask the intellectual questions. We have to ask the questions that sit on our hearts. And we need to spend more time just understanding that the ego is there on purpose to unravel us. It has a specific usefulness, just like everything. It has a usefulness which shows us what needs to be changed. And yeah, if you are going to take on the journey of letting love unravel you, it's a combination of unraveling the ego and the ego unraveling you so that you can return to love. That's part of my perception.
Yeah, I must admit the part that you just said now, I think over the last 2 years, the unraveling of my own ego and my journey going through that space and going to Egypt in May last year. And when I had to surrender and how love entered, it was the most divine love felt that was very hard to explain. I think I cried for about 5 days, right? 5 days straight.
Yeah.
Got back home
Yeah.
and I still cried. But anyway, why I wanted to mention that is that, you know, when I got back and you were saying, you know, if you listen, you'll be able to, you know, hear. And when I changed Just Be when I got back to the Temple of Remembrance, that name was given.
Yeah.
Because it's through remembrance that we get to become our true self again.
Yes.
And I just wanted to mention that because there's so much truth in what you are saying. And if only people could listen deeply, and I say deeply where it moves your energy within. It
Moves your
shifts
heart.
you. You
It moves your
have
heart.
to. That's the only way can you shift from where you are now to where you need to be. And trust me, Kim, when I say this, yeah, it's been quite an amazing journey when your ego starts unraveling and you start to remember a lot of the things that you are, not what you've lost. You know, you're still there. And I think that a lot of people are trying to get to that point again. So I really hope that when we all come together from these 4 different beautiful perspectives and share our lived experiences and things that people can, you know, do and embody in their own journey, because only through that can people understand. Doesn't mean to say it's going to show up for you the same way, but at least it will give you some guidance as to how to start, or whether you're in the middle or you're going towards. There's always a place where you're going to find yourself in your timeline. Whatever we say, that's going to help to shift. So Kim, I am going to say, I do not want to ask you more questions because I know what's going to happen right now, right? So we're going to pause there. Guys, I'm going to say, guys, come join us live on Saturday. It's going to be such a beautiful conversation. It's a live conversation. So you guys are going to be able to ask any one of the speakers any questions, things that are coming up in your life, things that you are. These ladies have, all 3 of them have been in my journey probably for the past, anything between the past 10 to 12 years, between all 3 of them. And I trust all 3 of them. So I know the people that I bring on this platform is people that I connect with deeply as well. So please, join us so that you guys can ask questions and be present, because there's so much of truth. If you just listen very deeply, you will be able to connect. You will be able to connect to the message. Whoever message is going to resonate with you, it's going to connect. So Kim, thank you as always.
Pleasure. And we'll see you on Saturday, right here.
Yeah, 100%. See you on Saturday, right here, guys.
Lovely.
I'm going to be posting this out. If you want to get a hold of Kim, just reach out, DM, or there will be links in there. Even on Saturday, please join us, and we look forward to seeing you guys. So Kim, have a fantastic afternoon, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
everyone.
I'll see you then. Bye.